Hi guys, back with another video for you today. Today I'm talking about a brand called Rosendo Mateu. I've been speaking about them quite a bit in different videos on the channel. And I've been speaking about number 5 and then also number 1 quite a bit. And so since they are now being sold at Luckyscent, I wanted to highlight some of their fragrances and then put the 5 fragrances that I have from this brand in a ranked list so that you can find out all about them and potentially check them out, things like that. So if you want to find out about Rosendo Mateu fragrances, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, today I'm talking about Rosendo Mateu fragrances. I first discovered the brand, actually I knew about the brand for a while, but I first discovered their fragrances and smelled them around April of 2019. But really didn't fall in love with anything of theirs until August of 2019 when I discovered number 5. Immediately in love with it, smelled great on me. It was a warm day, of course, August in Spain. I discovered it in Spain and the brand is from Spain. August in Spain is kind of warm and humid, so the fragrance just bloomed on me. So it was an instant love like that. So I have this and I love it. I've mentioned it in a lot of videos, but I've also spoken about number 1, another fragrance from the brand. Those two I have spoken about quite a bit. But I've got 5 here and I'm doing a rank list for you so that you guys can get to discover the brand and see what sounds great to you and potentially check them out as well at Luckyscent. So I'll get to the fragrances ranked for you, but before I do, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So Rosendo Mateu is a perfumer. He's been making perfumes I think since the late 60s from what I remember seeing of the different brands he's worked on or with to create perfumes. He's worked with brands such as Puig, Antonio Banderas, Kajal, Carolina Herrera, Desigual, Nina Ricci, Paco, Rabanne, Zara, and so on. And of course, he has his own brand. I think it's his son, I believe, is who runs the company, the brand Rosendo Mateu Fragrances. And as I said, I first discovered them in April of 2019 and then ended up with number 5 in August of 2019. And I've been a fan since then. Finally, you guys have been asking me, where can you buy Rosendo Mateu? Where can you buy Rosendo Mateu? Well, lucky you, now they have them at Luckyscent. A great way for you to discover them is if you live near Luckyscent, go to Scent Bar and smell them, of course. There's a New York City one and a couple of them in LA. But of course they sell samples you can always get to test them out. But the fragrances are 100 ml eau de parfum and they're $225. And of course, I'm going to rank them for you. Alright, we're going to start off with number 5 in my list. This is a top 5 list, as I said, and I've ranked the fragrances from my least favorites to my most favorites. Of course, at number 5, it's number 2. And number 2, it's very interesting. Before I get to the fragrance, the bottles actually have a big number on the front. And of course, the name of the brand is at the top. But they're also mentioning what standout notes there are. So this one says citrus, wood, suede leather. So I'm assuming the way they've broken down this breakdown is citrus for top notes, wood for heart notes, suede leather for base notes. I think that's what they're doing here. But the fragrance is actually kind of toss-up. All these fragrances were a little toss-up up until we get to number 2. Because I was learning the fragrances a little bit and I could move them around because I enjoyed all 3 of the bottom 3, but I ended up putting them this way. This one is very, very woody and leathery, and a slight bit animalic as well, and it has a little bit of a cumin-y touch as well. There's like cumin that pops through, but very, very long lasting. It's a leather that's not ultra dark. It's lots of ambery touches, but it has bright touches of the citruses of bergamot and lemons that pop in as well. But that's what you start off the fragrance with. You experience the bergamot and lemons, but eventually it settles to a woody and then a leather experience. And along the way you have the sandalwood, the suede leather pops through. There's a little rose and patchouli coming in here as well, and some geranium and floral floral notes. And as I said, this could have ended up at number 4. I put it at number 5 because, you know, they're the way I'm feeling about the fragrances currently. But I think a great way for you guys to experience these fragrances is to get samples or smell them in stores to see what you like and wear it on skin, because in the end, how it smells on you and how much you enjoy it or not enjoy it is what's going to make you buy and you know, get a fragrance, if that makes sense. So number 2 is at number 5. At number 4 is number 3. So I'm going to flash photos of the bottles so that you can see the labels, because the labels on the bottles themselves are so reflective that you're not going to be able to see them. But number 3 at number 4 has 3 notes listed of Neroli, Iris, White Musk. And this one actually almost ended up at number 3, but towards the end of my sampling of the latter 3 or the bottom 3 fragrances, because I know 1 and 2 a lot more than I know the bottom 3 fragrances, this actually at number 3 on the list, there's a floral note in it that really started blooming on me, because we started getting a little bit of a heat wave here, not too much, and on me during the heat, that floral note really popped and became beautiful. So that's why this one ended up at number 4, but initially when I was testing them out, this one would have ended up at number 3, if that makes sense. But this one is very vegetal with the iris note. It has a very vegetal quality, but also very, very powdery. And the musk is really overloaded here. You got lots of white musk. It's a clean musk. It doesn't wear dirty, like it's not a musky kind of animalic musk. It's just a very clean musk, and it's beautifully contrasted with the neroli note in here, the citrus flower in here. But it settles to a woody base with vanillic touches. Sandalwood and vanilla are pretty prominent here, and then of course some jasmine pops through, some tonka beans and vetiver. So there's earthy touches, but for me it's a powdery, vegetal, floral, musky experience. And as I said, almost at number 3, but I put it at number 4 because what's at number 3 now, that floral note really became beautiful on me, and I'm digging this particular floral note, and I'll let you know all about it. But in the meantime, check this one out if you like powdery fragrances, if you like iris, if you like neroli, if you like musky fragrances, and of course vegetal kind of experiences and fragrances. That's number 3 from Rosendo Mateu at number 4. So then on my ranked list at number 3, we're going with number 6. And number 6 highlights Jasmine. On the label, it says Jasmine, Sandalwood, and Oriental Musk, or Musk. This one actually really just beautiful. The jasmine note really opened up on me when it was a little warm. It hasn't been too warm here, which is fine. I don't really care for hot summer days, although what I always say is on hot summer days, fragrances just bloom and open up, and that's what happened with this one. But lots of sandalwood with this one, with jasmine, jasmine sambac, and white musk. Once again, there's a lot of white musk here. It's clean, but sometimes jasmine can go animalic as a smell, so be careful if it's indolic. This one didn't seem to be going animalic on me. It didn't get there, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful woody floral fragrance with musk. And then there's a bit of ambery touches and vanilla in there as well, because they credit Oriental Musk ambery touches. So this one does settle to a wood amber vanillic experience, but it's all jasmine and white musk. And I think even though this has those woods and amber and vanillic touches, it wears beautifully when it's warm outside. I haven't really tested it out in too much heat, but number 1, which is actually an amber, wears beautifully in the heat on me. So this one will totally come alive, especially the fact that it has, you know, kind of a fresh floral top note, which is really, really beautiful. I'm digging jasmine lately a lot. I don't know if you guys like jasmine as a note in fragrances. This one definitely has loads of jasmine sambac, so if you like the jasmine note, definitely check out number 6. And again, test it out on your own skin to see what works with your chemistry. Sometimes you might like the idea of a fragrance and you put it on and it doesn't work, and sometimes you think it might not work, and then you put it on and it works really amazingly, you know? And that's what happened with this one. So number 3 is number 6 from Rosendo Mateu. And it's a given that you might have thought this is what was going to happen. At number 2 is number 1, which I've actually owned for a while and I've been using it or highlighting it in different videos. Number 1 says on the label, Bergamot, Tea Leaf, Sandalwood. So Sandalwood, White Musk seems to come up quite a bit. And of course, Bergamot seems to come up as well. And this one has loads of it. So it's a fresh bergamot-y, cozy tea woody fragrance. Lots of green touches here. So it features notes of bergamot, orange blossom, tea leaf, lavender, neroli, white musk, sandalwood, iris. Yes, it does have a little bit of a powdery touch from the iris, but it's not overwhelmingly powdery. Not like the one that had number 3, which is the vegetal kind of powdery experience fragrance. Number 1 is not as powdery. Number 1 at number 2. So, you know, it wears beautifully and it has cozy elements, but it's all sparkly, effervescent bergamot notes in here, contrasted with a cozy tea. Anytime I see tea fragrances and tea notes in fragrances, I always associate it with cozy fragrances. I find coffee, tea notes in fragrances, even though they have, you know, caffeine and things like that, they're very, very cozy and comforting for me. And this one does act that way, but it has kind of an uplifting, invigorating citrus notes in contrast with the kind of cozy and comforting, relaxed tea note. It makes for a great wearing experience, especially when it's hot outside. And I really do like number 2. I really do like number 1 at number 2. So that is number 1 from Rosendo Mateu. And you guessed it, at number 1, it's number 5. I think this is just to die for, a kind of an amber fragrance. Just a right amount of amber contrasted with the musk and the floral notes. It has loads of floral notes up top, but settles to a beautiful, sexy, musky amber in the base. To die for. If you haven't tried this fragrance, you definitely must try it. I highly recommend this one, especially if you like ambery fragrances with floral notes and musk. But number 5 says floral, amber, sensual musk on the label. And they basically are highlighting what you're going to experience with this one. Floral in the top notes, amber in the heart notes, sensual musk in the base notes. But it features notes of musk, amber, vanilla, exotic flowers, spices, saffron, strawberries, lily of the valley. And whenever I see lily of the valley come through on a listing of notes, I associate that flower with having green touches. Yeah, there are some green touches in here, but the lily of the valley is not too strong. For me, this is a very, very beautiful, warm and gooey, musky floral fragrance. Just really wears really beautifully. And the time I discovered this, as I said, is in Spain in the August month, so it was very hot and humid there, and it really did come alive on me. It just really opened up beautifully. And sometimes some people think, you know, ambery fragrances, vanillic fragrances might be too strong in the summertime. If you are that type, then don't wear it then. But if you have no problem with it, I think it wears just beautifully in a warm environment with humidity and things like that. Either way, my favorite Rosendo Mateu fragrance is number 5 at number 1. So those are my thoughts on this collection of fragrances. Have you experienced this collection of fragrances? Let me know, put a comment down. Did you know that Rosendo Mateu was a perfumer prior to this house launching? He's done so many fragrances. I looked up his creations and things like that, and he's done quite a bit of fragrances. If you wanted to, you know, explore him as a perfumer, definitely look him up in the databases. But as I said, these are now sold at Luckyscent. You can always go and check them out there. And I'm glad you guys tuned in to discover this brand. I've got a new brand that I'm highlighting next week once again. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let me know what you think about these fragrances. How would you have ranked this list if you have sampled all these fragrances? Put a comment down so I can find out. And if you have a favorite of these 5 fragrances, let me know what it is if you don't own all 5 of them. Either way, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.